Listening for the Promise, weekly devotional, Pentecost 23, November 8th, 2020. Then the kingdom of heaven will be like 10 virgins who took their lamps and went to meet the bridegroom. 5 of them were foolish and 5 were wise. Matthew 25, 1-2. Jesus told a parable about being ready for Judgment Day that only shows up in Matthew's Gospel. It's the parable of the 10 virgins, 5 wise and 5 foolish. In 1522, Martin Luther preached on this parable, citing that the 10 virgins were 10 Christians. However, not all of them were faithful to the Lord. The wise virgins, he said, represent true Christians, whereas the foolish virgins represent phony Christians. By phony, he meant those who were only acting as if they were Christians. Why and how would anyone want to give the appearance of being a follower of Christ if they really weren't? In today's world, would that even benefit a person? We know that in times of persecution, Christians were killed. Why would you ever impersonate one? There are even places on earth today where Christians live and are threatened for worshiping Jesus or identifying with him. Who would risk such an association if it weren't a real relationship? I imagine that during the era of Christendom, when major political powers ruled in the name of Christ and his church, saying you were a Christian would be helpful to maintain some semblance of a peaceful life. However, I can't imagine any other time when claiming to be Christian would be of any real social or political benefit. Certainly today, as we live in an anti-Christian society that degenerates believers, claiming to be a Christian if you're not would seem to cause more trouble than it would be worth. So again, why be a phony Christian? Why act like it's a way of life if it's not? Perhaps that's exactly what Jesus was getting at. We know how often he warned the disciples that following him would be a costly experience. If they wanted to find their lives, they had to be willing to lose them for his sake. That's why coming to meet the bridegroom with no oil was foolish. The lamps were all for show. They weren't prepared for the long haul of waiting, which represents our daily life of faith. Immediately was what was on their minds. The faithful, however, are prepared for the long haul, in case the bridegroom doesn't return quickly. As true Christians, we endure the daily trials of life by faith, trusting that Jesus will one day return, but no one knows if it's today, tomorrow, or far in the future. Amen. Written by Sola Publishing.